She has some questions too,
Sure,
if that's
sure,
okay.
of course.
How long have you been working here?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, that's true. That was her first question.
So it's actually a good question because I used to work here many years ago when I was a much younger doctor, and then I left here and I went to the East Coast and I came back and I've been here for almost about a year and a half now. But I've been a part of this institution for many years, since 2013.
Why did you become what's it called? Oncologist.
As we honor a truly wonderful person that embodied love so fully. This afternoon, Reverend Laura Fragan and I will offer a few thoughts and prayers. But this time truly belongs to those who knew Jesus so well, his friends and family. It is your memories that will speak to his life. We hope that this time together will remind you, as Jesus did, that goodness and grace does indeed fill the world.
Before I became a doctor and an oncologist, I used to do a lot of research in engineering, and I liked it. It was all good science. But the one thing I really liked more than that was when I got to meet really lovely people, just like your dad. And that was the big reason, because it's the one place where you get to do a lot of cool stuff with science and learn, but you get to help really good people.
We will light 3 candles to represent the different parts of Jesus' life and share memories of the sweetness.
Of the words to describe our eldest brother, it seemed an overwhelming task. He led a life of simplicity, and yet it was all quite remarkable. He was our kuya, and for those who doesn't understand, it's a Filipino terminology to pay respect to your older brother. There were 4 of us, separated with the oldest 2 by close to a decade in age, then the younger 2, Mary and John. Jesus was a giant in our family, having a big heart with the smallest heart, staying true to who he was and never wavered.
Why aren't kids allowed here?
On this floor, there's a lot of very, very sick people and a lot of very, very strong drugs that we give them. So we don't want, 1, kids to be exposed, and 2, sometimes kids can have a cold.
Yeah.
That for them it's not a big deal, but if one of these really sick people got those cold, they'd get really, really sick.
All those undetermined amount of years that I have been friends with Helena, she has taught me the true meaning of the word friendship. There are other words that I learned the true meaning of from Jesus. Uxorious is a word that I didn't really know until I met Jesus. It means excessively fond of your own wife. Jesus was happily uxorious of Helena ever since their second date, when he canceled all the other dates he had lined up because he already knew then that she was the one. Unconditional love is truly something that I learned by watching Jesus.
So I really want to thank you both for, giving us this time and space to meet Lucia.
I think of his love for his family. Jesus absolutely adored Helena and Lucia, his siblings Joseph, Mary, and John, and of course, Mama Carrie. He had a deep and unconditional love for his wife. Helena is a tough New Yorker, and I love her for that. Jesus told Helena that she was his heaven on earth. Jesus, in that heaven, I want you to know that you were a gracious shepherd, not just for Helena and Lucia, but for all of us. And Lucia, the apple of Jesus' eye. Jesus seemed to be at his happiest and most content when he was taking care of his daughter.
So, You know, I'm a little jealous of you, I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
You got to know your dad many years. I got to know your dad a little shorter period of time. But in the short period of time I got to meet your dad, he was one lovely man, okay? And more than anything else, and I got to talk to your dad a lot. You know, I know that he wasn't home, and I'm sorry for that, but he was here while we were taking care of him. And he is one courageous man, because he was very sick, and he went through a lot of tough times. But that takes a lot of courage to get through that.
What kind of man spends his precious remaining energy on one of his last days on earth to make sure his wife has a gift to open on Christmas morning? A truly selfless man. If that's not the definition of selfless, then I don't know what is.
He represented the best of humanity, a beautiful heart, a beacon of both excellence and humility, and a generous soul who would do anything for those around him, especially his wife Helena and their daughter Lucia. Although Jesus has left this world much, much too soon, the imprint he left behind will be a part of our lives forever. There's a saying, when you love what you have everything you need. That aptly describes how Jesus lived.
Places where most people would be hard-pressed to even give him chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And we've seen it where sometimes we give it and people turn around and they get many, many, many months.
Okay.
And sometimes they don't. And that's kind of where we work. But what I can tell, and what I'll echo what you said, is that no, for him, at least in his standpoint, no stone was unturned. He actually gave it his all.
My dad was a very special man, and today we are here to have a memorial service for him. I just want to say that I miss him as much as you do, and I'm grateful that all of you came. My dad was kind, caring, loving, and had really bad dad jokes. You're very nice people for doing everything you could. I'm so grateful. Some of my dad's favorite hobbies were watching hockey on TV, drinking very good wine, and cuddling me and my mom. I love my dad so much, and this is an ode for him. Dad, oh Dad, as happy as can be. He is so sweet and caring and filled with joy. He was a very good dad, husband, friend, and man. I love my dad so much, and I'm glad I had him as long as possible. Although my dad's body is gone, his spirit will never be gone in me and my mom's heart. We will never lose his spirit. We will always remember my dad. I remember when I was little, I had very chubby cheeks, and he used to spend the whole day kissing my cheeks. And he always did what I wanted to do, watch what I wanted to watch, and he accepted who I was, even though I did some naughty things. He always seems to forgive me. He held my hand whenever I took a flu shot and gave his attention to me. When we got Daisy, the family got bigger, and I love that. Our family was perfect until December 27, 2021, when he passed away. I will always pray for him, and I know he had such a short life, but God wanted him up in heaven so he no longer has pain.
Just a few months ago, the unimaginable happened. We found out that Jesus had this very rare, aggressive form of cancer called Cholangiocarcinoma, bile duct cancer. Our world, as you can imagine, was shaken to the core. Our hearts shredded to pieces. But what I can say about this horrible, very horrible disease is that during our darkest hours together. Jesus and I were at our best, strongest, and closest that we had ever been. And for that, I am grateful and proud of the special love that we shared. Really special, because it was so tender, so real, so true. We understood each other's essence, spirit, and heart. And we both knew just how lucky we were to have each other. He gave his 100% to our relationship, and I happily gave it my all. He'd often tell me, I love your smile and your enthusiasm for life. And it was easy to smile and be enthusiastic around Jesus because I can truly be my authentic self around him, and he still loved me. Jesus always chose to see the light in me and believe that I can achieve anything I set my mind to.
You did thank Dr. Ospop. I've heard so much about you and how the valiant efforts that you made for Jesus, and we miss him.
We appreciate all of you and your support and your coming together. I think if he's a lucky man that he had this kind of loving family and friends. That speaks volumes about him. Yeah. I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh my God, what is that?
It's a sunflower. It says Hoba.
Oh, for Daisy, we have a dog, and it's a sunflower.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
That is so special. I know that it's God's way of letting me know that Lucia and I are not alone, and that we are loved. And as Rabbi Leader wrote in his book, Live a Life Worthy of That Suffering, a life gentler, wiser, and more beautiful than before. In closing, I share these words from Jesus, written in his last Christmas card to me, 2 days before he took his final breath. To my dearest wife, Helena.
Unfortunately, we had such a short time together, but you and Lucia are my world. Though I wouldn't trade it for anything, I know you will thrive after this and experience more. Maybe you'll even meet someone. For me right now, today and every day, you will always
be my forever. Your loving husband, Jesus.
But at least I have my mom and Daisy. Thank you so much for your time.
Lucia, you and your mama are safe with us.
Sia, your dad was an amazing brother, an amazing father. He really loved you. He was very frugal, like I said at the wedding. And he was frugal for a reason. He was saving everything for you. So, you know, he's still watching out for you.
Come on, Lucia. Let's go. Come on. Bye-bye. Come on.
This is recording. Cheers, it's alive. This is video. Wait.